Hi Rajni. Hi Sunita. Can you hear me
Oh,
okay?
yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's something which I was working on and I had to complete before end of the day. So now I'm available. Just give me a second. So we have Rajni and Sarayu
Correct.
both.
Swapnil,
Yeah.
Jima, I'm sending a resume also to you. She is going
Uh,
to join now, okay?
Okay. Okay. So again, Sunita, can you let me know the purpose? I mean,
It's actually their project and resume explanations, Swapnil.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Yeah. So I hope you have my resume.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for taking time and giving us the explanation.
Sure. Oh, it's my pleasure. Um, okay, so um, we see if there's anything common between. So I have both of yours, Rajni as
Okay.
well as Sarius. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm looking at Rajni. So 8 years of experience, Tableau, data analyst. Okay, data analysis, architecture modeling. Okay, and you have worked on Python as well as Tableau, Power BI,
Yes.
Max, Matplotlib, NumPy, SciPy, Pandas. Great. Okay, so this is the summary, and I'll go to Saryu's summary as well as. Okay, so pretty much same thing. Okay. Um, Same SciPy, GPy, Pandas, ER diagram, Tableau, Power BI, okay, MS Dynamics. So you have little more stuff. Okay, and I'm looking at data technical skills requirements that SQL, Databricks, Azure. Okay, so now I go through Rajnish. Okay, so just project about it. Okay. So, credit acceptance. That's the company. So what is this company about, Rajni? I'll just speak to you first for a few seconds. So Rajni, what
Okay.
is this company about? Credit acceptance?
Actually, it manages the loans. So if you have the bad credit history, also it manages to get the loan. It's a kind of financial institution which helps people to get the loans based on their data.
Okay, so what are the factors that they look at?
Like your financial stability and all.
Mhm.
And for the car loans, they look at your history also regarding like whether you have any uh, tickets kind of thing. Some kind of data they look at it. I have the basic idea on this
Sure,
company.
sure.
That's why, like, I'm also looking for what kind of real data
Correct, correct, correct.
they work on. Like, it may be on customers' data whom they work with, or
Right.
it may be from another end.
Another?
And they must be having another system also, like they deal with the banks.
Right, right.
So what is the success rate when I apply with a bad credit data?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the approval percentage of the loan? Two systems, right? I hope you understand what I'm telling.
No, so when it's two systems, so
Two
what?
systems, like one is customer data whom they
Okay,
deal with.
okay.
The other end is like when you apply for loans, they are the mediators, right? Between the banks,
Mm-hmm.
and the banks are with the dealers, car
Mm-hmm.
dealers.
Okay.
So whom they are dealing with, also they need to maintain that data also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the basic idea I have actually.
Okay. Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, so we'll see. Okay. I'm just trying to look for some data which I can use to talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
Give me no, 1 second. Um, uh, just give me some time. I'm just trying to get some data which I can share with you so that
Sure.
you can talk about it. Okay. Just give me a second. Um, so what I might share might be a little more than what you might need. Okay, this is more from data analytics perspective. Okay, but
Okay.
don't get into those. I'll share and I'll share and I'll talk about it. Okay, so this looks good. So first of all, okay, I would say uh, create this account on Kaggle. Okay, um, all of you. Sorry, can you hear me?
Ye Yes,
Yeah,
Swapnil, yes.
yes. And uh, Gimalata, right? If I'm right. Hi, Gimalata, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So first of all, I would say that, okay, I'll just give you a website. Create an account on this, okay, kaggle.com, okay. Uh, can you quickly create an account on this?
Yeah,
Now,
I have one. I can download the data sets.
okay, okay. So if you have, great. So see, anyway, this will have much more complex stuff. We are not getting into that, but at least, we need to know. some basic about any business, okay, especially about the a couple of companies that you write on your profile. So first and second, okay, you have to know about those two things, okay. So for example, I found one for Rajni. Um, wait a second. Um, so I'm sharing the link, okay. All three of you share save it, but this is mostly for Rajni, okay.
Okay.
You see that link in the chat?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. So, okay, save that link. Now, okay, so here they have done on Python. And if you want to practice, do something similar on Power BI and Tableau, okay? But, okay, first thing is, as you said, let's focus on the project itself, okay? So forget about the machine learning part, okay? We are not going to talk about machine learning part. So you told me loan eligibility, right? That's why I found one for you, okay? And you can
Okay.
actually download the data set from here. Okay, there's a sample data set which you can download and you can actually see. Okay, so if you create an account, you'll be able to download and see. Okay, it's totally free. So you can download and actually uh, look at it. So you click on download, you'll have the data set here. Okay, now see here. Okay, this is what I want you to focus on. So Dream Housing Finance Company. So instead of Dream, it will be your company, right? You can say that deals in all home loans. Now, again, it depends upon you how you want to say. They have a presence across all urban, semi-urban, rural, okay, and areas. Customer first applies for a home loan after the company validates the customer eligibility for a loan. The company wants to automate the loan eligibility process real time based on customer detail provided while filling the online application form. Okay, so the details that you need. So you said right, two system, right? So two system
Yes.
is one system. So you have one set of data that comes from customer, and there's another set of data. Don't say two systems. You can say that sources. So first source, two sources of data. One is from the customer itself, and other is the credit bureau data, right? So where you get the person's credit history, credit score, things like that. You'll also get the past history of loans that they have taken, defaulted, things like that. And then of course you need, so you had data about, from in terms of um, customer, their gender, marital status, education, number of dependents, income, loan amount, credit history, and other informations to automate. Okay, so we are not automating here. Okay, that's the difference. We are going to look at, we're going to visualize and present to perform the data analysis. Okay, so these are some of the columns. So if they tell you which are the columns, we can talk about this. So loan approved is final, yes, no, that is the final outcome. But you want to look at credit history versus loan amount, okay, things like that. And then this is the data that you see. Okay, this is the sample data. Okay, we'll skip and then yeah. Okay, so this is not okay. So this is the one. Okay, so okay, they're reading the data now. Explode. So I told you right. They are doing it in Python. Okay, you have to
Yes.
do same thing in uh,
Tableau.
so this is getting recorded, Gimalta. Okay, so you don't worry. Sunita is already recording this for us. Okay, so yeah, so try to implement same thing. Okay, so this is the data. Okay, now this is the analysis that you're performing. So what role you are doing, you can talk about this. So refers to the critical process of performing initial investigation. So you perform initial investigation on data so as to discover any pattern, to spot anomalies. What is anomalies? Something which is not um, as per norms, something which is different. We call them outliers. Okay, so when you perform initial investigation, you try to discover patterns from the data, you try to spot anomalies, and you sometimes also check hypothesis, okay, assumptions. Okay, so what is test hypothesis? Hypothesis is like people with so and so credit score, they generally do not pay back, they default. Okay, now that is a hypothesis which has been created based on some analysis. So if you get someone who with that score, you will recommend to reject. Okay, and check assumptions with the help of summary statistics, graphical representations. Okay, so these are the work tasks that you do. If they ask you what is your objective, what do you do, what's your daily task? Okay, so you'll talk about this. My goal is to develop an understanding of the data. Okay, the easiest way to do is to use questions as tools to guide your investigation. When you ask a question, question focuses on your attention on a specific part of the data set. So questions, you have to ask yourself questions. Okay, questions could be um, uh, what is the monthly savings that person is doing? Okay, so it could be monthly saving, it could be like you know
Uh,
this, yeah,
Hi, I joined just now. So could you please give me what is this like? Is this how we should talk like when we are giving an interview, or what is that your uh,
correct. So I'm talking about the project itself. Okay, on your profile you have the project. See, first thing that they'll ask you is what do you do, right?
okay,
And from
okay,
there they'll ask you the questions. So first thing that we have to understand is the project work that we are doing. Okay,
okay,
what is the project? Okay, what kind of work we are doing? Okay, if your interviewer is confident about it, that's when they'll ask you, okay, how do you do that? What tool do you use? Okay, that's when they'll get into technical discussion. So first you need to be clear about the your project. Okay, now here you see your interviewer doesn't know what you do, correct?
mhm,
so
yes,
so so even if you are faking it, okay, they say like fake it till you make it. Now in technical stuff you can't fake, right? In
okay,
technical thing, you don't know, right? I mean, don't try to fake the technical stuff. Okay, but when it comes to your experience, that's the option. Okay, you are better prepared, whereas they're getting into asking too many questions. You have to logically try to defend it, right? And, so so have something in your mind. Okay, so when you read this project, it tells you this information, right? So keep these
mhm,
things in your mind and read this again and again. Try to create your own story for yourself. Okay, so ask questions like, okay, what do you do? So morning when you go to office, what do you do? Okay, so you have the new inquiries which has come and you've been assigned new inquiries by your manager, right? Okay, so that's a new inquiry. So now I take the data, I load it to my Power BI or Tableau, whatever. Okay, so from where do I get the data? Okay, ask yourself these questions. From where do I get the data? So it's not about being correct. It's about being confident. If you are logically correct, right, you cannot
okay,
contradict yourself. At one point, you are saying that you are getting data from your company, and second time you are saying that you have, something you are getting data from somewhere else. So don't try to contradict. Okay, when you are giving answer, okay, so that's why it's you walk through these things in your mind before you go for interview and multiple times. Okay,
okay,
what are the factors that you look at? Okay, what kind of analysis do you perform? So here you have generating questions about your data. So you are generally trying to ask questions. Okay, so maybe just note down few questions. Okay, and it could be as simple as that, as simple as what is the savings per month? What is the expected savings per month? Savings minus already they have loan. So what is the net? You deduct that loan amount as well. Okay, so that's one factor. Um, Second thing could be, you try to Google and see, okay, loan. What are the questions generally a loan officer will ask themselves before approving the loan, right? So it's a generate questions, right? So if you don't know, if you're not getting any idea, just type in Google. Okay, questions that a loan officer will ask to approve loan. Okay, that's when you'll get a lot more queries. Note it down. Okay, so that's why you know what I said. You go from step by step process. Okay. Okay, so this is a question that you ask your loan officer, right? Not the loan officer ask you. So certain question that loan officer will ask you. Okay, how much do you bring in each month? Right, so these are the questions that you have to ask from the data. How much is the saving that person? Okay, what is the income of that person? Right, do you have 2-year continuous work history? Okay, so you look at the employment history for last 2 months. Do you see 12 months or 24 months of salary being credited? Okay, is it self-employed or working for somebody else? Okay, so W2, who files W2. Okay, then what do you think your current credit score is? Okay, how much are you paying for other loans that you have right now? Okay, do you have any credit card? Okay, what do you have saved for a down payment? Okay, what is the savings that person has? Okay, is somebody else also applying for the loan along with this? Generally, wife or somebody will apply co-borrower, right? So so okay, so so what I'm saying is, logically ask yourself why, what do I do next, what do I do next? Okay, and then if you get stuck, Google. Okay, so these are the questions I ask. Now coming back to this. Okay, so these are the questions. Now I have to get the answers to these questions from the data by visualizing, transforming, modeling. Okay, I need to ask those questions from the data itself. Okay, then what do you learn to refine your questions? Okay, so there could be 5 different criteria which will help you to decide whether the person should be given loan or not. So after getting those answers to those 5 criterias, now you approve the loan. Okay, now EDA is not a formal process. EDA stands for explorative data analysis. Explorative data analysis, what we just did is called EDA, exploratory data analysis. Okay, it's not a formal process, it's a strict of rules, right? So you're trying to follow or make a rule and okay, execute as per rule, because your analysis is critical. Okay, if you make small mistake, people who, person who is not supposed to be given a loan, okay, can be given a loan. So right, there's a high chance of people defaulting on it, right? So and this is true with any kind of data analysis that you're doing, any EDA. You have to ask questions. Okay, why do you draw a bar graph? Okay, now second question will come, how do you draw a bar graph in Tableau? But first question will come, why should you draw a bar graph? What does bar graph gives you? What question is it answering? Okay, so then as you explore, you will home in on few particular productive areas that you will eventually write up and communicate to others. Okay, and then this is example, this fellow has done it. Okay, then cleaning the missing value. Okay, first of all, need to clean the missing value, right? This fellow is doing in Python, same thing you try to do it in whatever tool you. So again, we don't have time to learn all the tools, right? You pick one which you think you're good at or your personal favorite is. right? In terms of Tableau or Power BI, and follow the steps. Okay, this is the Python steps. Okay, now you see how is gender distribution. Now this is based on multiple data, not 1% data, multiple data. Okay, who's applying more? Okay, male or female? Okay, what is the marriage distribution? Okay, so these are the questions that you will get it from your data itself. Okay, so see, gender distribution, male is almost 80%. Okay, count, then distribution, marital life, okay, education, okay. So they are analyzing last month data, last quarter data that you are doing, okay. So then again, so this is first part is where you're looking at each individual. Second part is you're trying to create some kind of guidelines for yourself. So how will you create guidelines? So you will look at number of people who have been approved loan over last 1 month or 1 year, and then come up with these things. Okay, this metric. Now, let's say it says, okay, um, it says, okay, now let's say it says, okay, graduate you have 80% and non-graduate is around 20%, right? And the analysis, it says when you look at 1 year data, that non-graduates default more than graduate. So what is the default rate of graduate versus non-graduate, right? So if you see that non-graduate is default rate is 80%, okay, then next time when some non-graduate comes, you need to mark it as red or yellow or something. Okay, so this is how you're analyzing past data, and you can talk about this, that you have done that. Okay, okay. uh, what kind of graph is this? This is income. Okay, so what does this tell you?
This is histogram.
This is histogram. Yes. So what is the shape of this histogram?
Mm,
This is positively skewed graphs. Okay, so this is skewed graph. Okay, and positively skewed because the tail is going towards right side. You see this long tail here. It means that bulk of your people who apply for your loan are lower. They have a, they have maybe lower than 6 or 7K salary. Okay, and probably this is per year. So again, the data also talks about the unit. Okay, so salary, it is dollar per month, dollar per year, right? Mostly it will be per year. Okay, so you have count, and then so it says that bulk of your people that apply for jobs at your bank have salaries less than 6,000. Okay. Yeah, and then these are few more examples. Okay, and you have to claim that this is what you do. This is what you analyze. The data gets refreshed every month. Okay, and then you run your analysis and you document it. Make sense?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. What is correlation metrics? Correlation metrics talks about the how each factor is impacting the other factor. Okay. You know correlation, right? All of you?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like one factor impacting other factor, right? So for some, for a factor to impact other factors significantly, the what should be the value of the correlation?
It should be positively correlated and close to the 1. Mostly it's between 0 and 1. So the highest the value is
Yeah, between 0 and 1 with plus or minus sign, right? So effectively it becomes -1 to +1, right? So negative would mean reverse correlation, inverse
yes.
correlation, and positive value means positive correlation. And anything less than 0.5, minus 0.5 or plus 0.5, we ignore. We say there's no correlation. Right? That means if you know one factor, you cannot use that factor to predict another factor. But if correlation is when correlation is on the higher side, like it's a 0.8, 0.9, okay. So we say there's a strong correlation, okay,
Yes.
right? So yes, so that's how people use correlation factor. So within one command, okay, you have entire correlation value between all these, and you can see ones that you need to focus on and which you should not focus on. Where the value is less than 0.6, 0.5, zero point 0.6, you should not focus on. That doesn't serve any purpose. But definitely more than 0.7, 0.75, 0.8, you need to focus on those things, right? Then dependence, okay, okay, and then now we're not doing machine learning for this, okay, so don't get into this. Machine learning is you're trying to predict, okay, so we are not doing prediction. Now your data could be in different tables, so you might be using some DAX command to connect data to plot those values that you have seen before. So is it okay? Now, will you prepare yourself? It was Rajni, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I got some idea, but I have two questions in this
Mhm,
loan data. Like, can I
mhm.
ask that?
Yeah, yeah.
So source systems, right? So you mentioned like it might be customer or credit bureau data,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
here, source systems like what in what format we are getting the data, that also matters, right? Either it may be a Word document or a CSV file or Excel file, some SQL data. Is
Right.
that what they're talking about? Source systems means like the
Okay. So two things. Okay. One is data is stored in which format. Okay.
yeah.
So format, what it just mentioned is the format. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So format could be Excel, could be SQL, or could be, anything. But second thing is from where are you getting the data? Who's giving the value? So you're performing the analysis, but how are you getting
Yes.
the data? Okay. So customer will fill up the form on your website or or in your branch, okay, or they'll come to you or they'll call you. So the initial data is filled by customer. So that's why you know their name and number. And then you call it or they come and talk to you. It's their wish.
Yes. So can we say something like my role is like Tableau data analyst, right? So
Correct.
there is a source team and they are giving
Yes.
the
They are
data,
called as data engineers. Okay, we
data
can
engine.
yes, we call them data engineers. Their job is to get data from various sources, get data from sales team, marketing team, from the marketing team will get from the websites. Sales team will get run some campaigns and they'll get the data. Okay, so they get data from various sources. They'll have multiple sources. Then they combine and give us the CSV file. You can say, or they give us the data for access to the database to connect, right?
Okay. So so can we say something like we are not directly connected with the source systems. They will load the data and we will analyze the data. So
Okay,
is it correct?
so see, it's correct, but okay, I would not suggest you to say that. See, they are getting data from various sources and they
Yes.
are making it available for you. Okay,
Okay.
now you are connecting to it. So, you are connecting to database. You can say that you have Now again, based on your confidence, you can say that yes, I have connected to database many times. We run a SQL Server database, we connect to SQL Server database, and we perform. So there so there it is SQL Server database that you have worked with. Okay, so now when you mention that, you are actually kind of taking your interviewer in direction where you want them to ask you questions. If you mention
Okay.
SQL Server, that means you are kind of taking the interviewer in your area of comfort. Okay, you ask me about SQL Server kind of basically. So then they'll ask you, what have you done on SQL Server? What queries do you run? Okay, how do you fetch the data? Now then you know that okay, the focus has gone from project to your actual work. Okay,
Okay.
the actual work is what is important, because we spend so much of training time and learning things like that, but in the interviewer is looking at your communication skills also, at your in a way. Yes, they are HR people, they know psychology and things like that. They will even evaluate your the way you talk, the way you behave and things like that. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes. Yeah, yeah. As
yeah,
mentioned in resume, like we are connected with the different source systems, and I have used SSIS to integrate all the different data sources.
correct,
So,
correct, exactly. So that's
okay,
what your role of job engineer is, right?
okay.
Okay,
So connecting, yeah,
yeah.
got
So
it.
you can say that I have done this as well.
Yeah, that one thing. And another thing is like in this specific loan data, so how can we use the Gantt charts? So in which scenario we can get that kind of
So
need?
what is Gantt chart?
It's a chronological bar graph where you can
Correct,
see some kind of time
correct. So
series kind of
any
thing.
any any task that you do, okay, uh, we are not that planned for our home, but we are very planned when we do for office. So whenever you are doing any initiative, any project, okay, where more than one person is involved, so you need to um, you know get access to some of those things. So some of the things means I'm just thinking which are time dependent. Okay, your project work maybe. Okay, your project work, which is okay, you establish, then after 15 days you have to move to this, then to this, then to this, right?
Okay. So when it comes to loan data, there are different stages of
No, no.
approvals,
So it
right?
could be different stage of approval or your task itself. So anything. So I said task itself. So first you did basic analysis. Now you
Okay.
move to advanced analysis. So when you move from one level to another. So okay. So you say that you know every like so you have this quarterly data that comes in, right? So that
Yes.
this quarterly data that comes in at every first, fourth, seventh, and 7 plus 3 is 10. 10th month. Every first, fourth, seventh, and 10th month. Okay, that means quarter data I'm talking about. Okay,
Okay.
January, Feb, March data you'll get it in April. That's the fourth month. Okay, then April, May, June you'll get in seventh month. That's why I say 7, and then 3 months. So so you can say that that's the uh, so you get new refresh data by first week of every month, for example. Okay,
Okay.
so you get first week of every month, and then second week we complete the um, cleaning part. Then third month we run the uh, explorative analysis. Okay, what happens is there are few important graphs that you have learned, right? Now you cannot apply all the graph at the same time, because it'll take a lot of time for us to understand the different concepts that are there. So when you take a particular data for a first week and you're talking about basic data, then you're doing basic analysis. Then you go to advanced stage. So what I'm trying to say is that you can't do everything on day one itself, right? So you move to second level where you're taking advanced analysis, where you're performing about credit bureau data also. So level 1, level 2 analysis. So level 2 analysis in the Gantt chart, you can show first week of fourth month, first week, right? Then second week is advanced analysis. Then third week is presentation. So these are the 3 weeks that you are busy every 3 months, where you are taking the data, quarterly data, present, analyzing, and then presenting. So presentation will happen to some senior folks, right? In business. Okay. So the questions that you ask, that will summarize that those questions you will summarize and present in the final deck, which is your third month. So that's where you can create a Gantt chart,
Okay. Okay.
right? So it's level of work that you're doing. So right from getting the data to presenting to your department head.
Okay. Okay. It's not the original set of data. It is something like what we are working on, what we have generated from the data. So that we are representing in a Gantt chart.
Okay. So now if you want to talk about the data itself, okay, do you have any when we spoke about those data sets, right? Is there any time specific data? Uh, uh, I
I'm
don't
specific.
see. I don't see. In the sense, um, the let's say, just an example like expenditure before marriage and after marriage, right? So then
Yes.
then you can show that, generally, okay, this week is high. Expenditure has a very good thing. So when you get your salary, your expenditure will be very high in the first month. Okay. So if you're trying to plot percentage of money that is being spent, so you can say that first week of the month, 30%, 30% goes into um, uh, um, what do you say? Is spent. 30% you
Okay.
spend the first week, right?
Okay.
As you go down to fourth week, you will see it is hardly 5% or 3%,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that can also be represented in Gantt chart. So look at the data. If you have it, you can say. Okay, so before you answer, you just think. Okay, should I say, if I say yes, this is what I need to prove. This is what I need to show or explain. Okay, and then you say yes or no. But in
Yes.
fact, in reality, yes, there will be Gantt chart for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some clarity. Thanks for that clarification. But I thought, based on the loan data, from the initiation
Yeah, yeah,
stage to
yeah. That's what
approval
that.
stage.
Yeah,
So
initiation.
how,
Yeah,
yeah, how
initiation
much
to
time it
correct,
takes.
correct.
So, what factors affected that? Like, if it is taking longer time, what are the factors that affected that? In that way, also we can analyze the data.
Yes, yes,
So,
of
while you are
course.
explaining, I got that clarity. So,
Correct, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. If you can see, this is you got this idea, and now you have to when you prepare for interview, just take it to a conclusion. That means if they ask me, show me how, you should be able to do something and show this is how I'm going to do it. Okay. If you have
yes,
just half idea, don't speak about it, because if they ask you how will you do it, you get stuck. But again, as I said, in the practice time, you can ask yourself, it's like you're asking yourself. So this is very good point. The question will be, how do you stop? When do you know that you have this? Which column does that information you get? How do you
mm,
represent that information in your day-to-day activity, right? So now you have
yes,
to create some kind of scenario, right? And I told you, right, it's about confidently talking about it as if, yes, I've done it. Okay. So they are also busy, right? They will also then ask you next question. The moment they see that, okay, you are getting stuck, you know, then uh, that's when the things can go wrong. Otherwise, Absolutely no problem.
Sure, sure. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Sure. Now we'll take another resume. I have Sarayu's resume. Okay, and try to do it for definitely do a lot of work for your first company. Okay, that is there in the profile, but also do some work for the second, third company also. They can ask you from anywhere. In fact, uh, um, what happened once with me was I was going through candidate's profile, and something that they did 5 years back, 4 years back was of interest to me because I was also working on something similar and I needed help. Okay. It's about
Okay.
a particular metric. So I asked that candidate, okay, what did you do? I forgot, I don't remember. Okay. Now, first of all, if you forgot and you don't remember, it should not on your resume. Okay, it should not be
Yeah.
on your resume. You cannot say that I forgot. Okay. Second thing is, how can you forget? Okay, something that you have done for 2 years. Okay, people remember like 50 years. When we grow old, right? We'll remember what we did in childhood or when we were young. You can't remember the 5-year-old thing that you did 5 months, 5 years back. What you did. Okay, so that was that was like disappointing for me, and I decided not to hire the candidate. See, every question that you answer as the interviewer is trying to decide yes or no. So you answered great. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And then let's say again you stop answering. Then it becomes no, 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 right? And finally it is either yes or no, which goes to, which will push you to the next round. So be confident. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm looking at Saryu's thing. Okay. So Saryu's your profile. You first company was Ali Bank. Now here,
Yes.
CVS Health is of my interest. Okay, because I know
Okay.
something about CVS. Okay,
Okay.
and so I can ask you, like, which business of CVS did you work? What was the business name, in which you worked? Hmm?
Mm,
Which business of CVS did you work? They have online prescription. They have um, prescription drug, over-the-counter OTC. What is OTC? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Um,
What is OTC? If you work in a pharmacy, and if you don't know what is
The
OTC,
over the counter,
over
is
the
it?
counter drugs, yes, for which you don't need prescription. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So sometimes they will test you these acronyms, and these acronyms are very industry specific. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so but your first company is LA Bank, right? So again, what do
Yeah.
you do in LA Bank? What's your idea? Like, what the project? What do you do in a project?
um, Seeing the resume, I think that once you
Don't
get
answer that.
some,
Don't answer that. So, do you think that's a real interview? Okay.
okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
uh,
So first, again, as I said, right? Ask who are you. So what I did for uh, Rajni was this. I created who is she. So she's a data
Okay.
analyst working for so and so company on loan approval system. Okay. So it's
Yes.
always who you are. Who are you? Who am I? Okay. That's the question. So before you get into that, I'm doing data analysis. So, I'm working for LA Bank, and LA Bank is okay. So I don't know much about it. Let's find out. Okay, so
Mhm.
okay, so they also do home loans, right?
Home.
Home
Yeah.
loans, investing, banking. Okay, so uh, uh, so you can say that my job was to work, because see, when somebody applies for a loan division is
Mhm.
different, and your uh, personal banking account is different, right?
Yes.
So they may
Yeah.
not know that until unless you give the account number, they don't know whether it is the same customer. So you can say that one part of my role is to look at customer's account and connect and give a combined picture of their financial transactions. So combined picture of the credit card, bank account, okay, and loans, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you get, get data from different sources, and then put them together for every customer, and then present it, right?
Mm.
That's one. That's who are you, right? So you can talk about one such who are you, right? Then you can also AC ACCAP. What is ACCAP, Rajni?
It's a company. It is like American Society for Composers, Publishers, and uh, authors and publishers. Sorry.
Okay, so I don't know about the company, right? So okay,
Uh,
best place is, yeah. See, best place is, even if you don't get data set, right? Try type
Mhm.
in Google and see what they do. Okay, and then you say, you find a scope for your analysis. So if I'm just guessing, okay, if they are the group of people who publishes articles, right? I'm just guessing, okay? So if they are the group of people who publishes articles, the database could talk about the author, okay. Maybe you pay author, let's say you are paying author, right? So you're analyzing and seeing, how much have you paid to what articles. Let's say you're paying based on sales or based on number of hits. So you are trying to, you look at the analysis and perform what challenges they are facing. Sometimes they'll raise a complaint saying that they are not able to post. So what are the top challenges for your company in terms of people not able to post on their website? I'm just guessing, I don't know what the
Yeah,
company does.
it's about like if you are a composer, first you need to register with them. So, if you compose a tune or if you write a song, you have to register. These are something like getting the approvals from that company, so that nobody will copy your tune or your song, or if you name something, that kind of thing.
Okay,
So in that case, I did not get much data. Even I searched like how to
fine.
analyze kind of data. So that's why
Yeah,
maybe.
so fine. Even if you don't get data, that's okay. But can you find a scope for, and this question for everyone? Okay, in this kind of scenario, where do you think the application of analytics would be there? See, these companies would be getting lot of applications or lot of requests every day, right? Now,
Yes.
two things. One, you're automating the process, even if you have not automated. If you have not automated, then lot of work. But even if they've automated, you want to verify the automation and the reality is correct or not,
Okay. Yes.
right? So the you can let's say generally, let's say your as per your business plan, you give 40% of revenue to composer and 60% revenue you keep with yourself. So now you refer to find the total revenue, okay, and how much revenue has come to your bank account. It should be in 60% roughly. If it is not, that means there's something wrong or something, not correct with your financial module, right?
Yeah. One
So
more
you,
thing to add is
yeah.
like it's a non-profit organization.
Mhm.
That's when I got stuck up with that company. So it's a
See,
non-profit organization.
whether it is
So
non-profit or for profit doesn't matter, because the business of a business is to make money. Okay. If it is NGO or non-profit, doesn't mean that they will stop making money. They need money to invest in themselves, right? Huh? They may not be taking out money and keeping in the house, right? If you have a company, then profit you take home. But here profit you cannot take home. But still because see, you cannot, no business can survive without money, correct or not?
yeah, operational cost will be there.
Right. So yes, so you need to find, so treat, okay, it may be non-profit, but you need to profit as the same company, as like a company. Okay. Just that they are not taking profit in their pocket. They have to keep the profit in the system itself. But do they have to make um they have to make they have to make money, right? So doesn't, I don't think it matters much on those aspect.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay. Okay. Now in this example, Sarayu, I see that you have somewhere I said Python and risk management. Yeah, worked with team of developers on Python applications for risk management.
Yes.
So what is risk management and what is the application that is there? Are you building your own application, or you are taking some public application and you're changing, modifying it? What is that you're doing?
Mm, mm, I didn't check it.
Yes. So you need to know what risk management is, right?
Okay,
Because this
yeah.
will come out. Okay. What is risk management? Okay. So if you talk about risk management, there are a couple of things. One, what is your plan of managing risk? What are the risks that you can get? Okay. So one thing is,
Okay.
what are the risks? Now, when you talk about risk, you also talk about risk and occurrence, probability and impact. Okay. Probability,
Okay.
you talk in terms of what is the probability of it occurring. Okay. Now let's say if you are staying in a desert, okay, far from ocean, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there the probability of floods maybe may can be less,
Yes.
right? But impact could be high. If there's a flood, all your data might get lost,
Yes.
right? So every risk is talking about, you identify the risk along with its occurrence. Okay, how fast? Sometimes we have rating like ABC. A means very fast occurring, okay, which occurs almost every month. Okay, if you are in a tsunami zone, right, then probably the occurrence of tsunami will be higher than flood or fire. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
so that's the occurrence. The second part is the impact. What happens when that occurs? See, you can't stop. You can't stop flood from occurring. You can't stop fire from you know from happening. But what you can
Mm.
impact is that the impact on your business is less.
Okay.
Okay, and then you are saying that you are analyzing this risk management, which is a small piece, which may be a small piece, right? It may not be the entire thing. Then you also have a specific strategy to handle each risk. You have identified the risk, you have identified the occurrence, okay, probability of occurrence and impact. Okay, probability is also high, medium, low, and impact is also high, medium, low. Okay, so you can assign some rating. Okay, high equal to 3,
Okay.
medium equal to 2, low equal to 1. So the risk which has high probability and high impact will have a score of 9, isn't it? 3 high probability, 3 high impact.
Yes.
Something which has low probability and low impact, one thing is that it doesn't occur. Even if it occurs, there is not impact on the business. Okay. So
Yes.
something like that, you give a score of 1 into 1. And then you have to rearrange your risk in an order where which will tell you, okay, these are the first risk, second risk, third risk, so on. So the first risk, which has high probability and high impact, becomes your,
Higher priority.
yes, the topmost priority. And when your topmost priority, okay, one aspect is finding the topmost activity. Okay, this is activity which, okay, which every business will do, right? Risk analysis. So you can say that this is the risk analysis I'm doing. And which data are you taking? What kind of risk analysis? Again, you can talk about customer data. Okay. And whatever we
Okay.
just discussed with Sarju, same thing you can also talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
So again, Ally Bank, your job was to integrate data from variety of sources and answer to the questions by the business. Because business
Okay.
from retail banking, they will not have access to the credit card division. Credit card division people may not have access to the retail division. And you have, since you have the access, you will interact with both of the departments.
Okay.
Okay. Then what you have. Okay. Now see, I'm talking to one person's resume, but same thing will hold for everybody else. Okay. So don't think that you're wasting time, because and I see the the jobs are also repeated. Okay. You might have a banking job after like 2 main jobs. So again, you need to understand banking process, or it is healthcare process. Okay. Then what we have next is nationwide insurance Columbus. Okay. So insurance, nationwide insurance is again um, is an insurance company, right? And
Yes.
what does the insurance company do? Main thing that they do is to find the insurance, how much insurance a person will pay. Now, again, you know that if you're talking about life insurance, right? They look at your age, they look at your any disease that
Well,
you have,
yeah.
right? So why are they doing that? Lower the age, more you will live, right?
More.
Health.
Yeah.
Okay, lesser the problem, more healthy you are, more you live. So they are trying to predict. See, if you live more, that means you'll have to pay more EMI, right? Or your charges for the loan, right?
Yes.
And so, in that case, the risk for the insurance company is less. Then if they figure out that, okay, there's someone who's smoking and already has some problem, okay, then the probability of that person surviving for long is less, isn't it?
Yes.
So if they have less chance, chances of living long is less, that means
The insurance, I mean, EMI will be more.
EMI will be more, exactly, right? So maybe you're doing that kind of analysis. You have some metric and you're combining them and you are analyzing and coming up with maybe a category. So so A category are people who are healthy and less risky. Okay, risky category. Then B is based on some criteria. Okay, you will say that it is not as safe as the first group, but not very risky. Third criteria would be somebody who is already existing, they have diseases, right? Somebody with already has heart disease. Okay,
Mhm.
so that is like high risk zone. So generally, most people will not get loan because that's a high risk. You never know. You pay one premium and then you have to do a surgery. The company will lose a lot of money, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that could be one more analysis. Again, you have to search the data and see if you can do that. Okay, but I'm more interested in CVS. Okay, let me quickly see if I can find something here for CVS. So see, one more thing is the job descriptions. Okay, when team sends you job description, please read through the job description very well. Job description will say, I need someone who has handled XYZ project. So now you know that. Okay, see, if opponent, if interviewer, the company is looking for somebody who has handled ABC, it's a hint to you saying that yes, you have done ABC. Now again, don't try to do fake claim, okay? But even if it is 40-50% match, go for it. Okay. So see, I was talking about which one? The analytics career, right? So see, they need people who can perform digital health, okay, pharmacy analytics, okay. So what is pharmacy analytics? So there's a saying, okay, it says, you know, you need to spend 1 hour on a topic. Okay, you start with any topic first. Let's say pharmacy analytics. Okay, you spend 1 hour on this topic. That's what it says to become an expert. Whether you're doing Google or anything else, it's fine. Okay, you spend some time and and uh, you know more about that, more about the word, right? Now, as you learn more about the word, there definitely will be new word that might have come up in the discussion for which you don't know the meaning. Again, you spend 1 hour on that. Okay, 1 hour in the sense thinking, practicing. After that, again you read about that topic and you will come with some other term. Now, so what you're doing is you're spending only 1 hour to learn a topic, but end of the day you will learn 3-4 similar terms for sure. Okay, so that's why your job description is again a good place to begin knowing about your project, because they'll clearly say this is what we expect. You say yes, this is what I've already done, right? You just have to change the language. Now here you can talk about making sure that your store doesn't run out of stock. That is also a analysis. Okay, the store doesn't run out of stocks. Okay, so for example, okay, there are some terms which you may not be able to remember now, but I'm just giving you some idea. Okay, now let's say there's a store uh, which has a particular product. Okay, 10 pieces of that. Okay, on average you sell 5 such pieces. So there are 10 pieces they have. On average, they sell 5 pieces. That means how many days of stock they have?
2 days.
2 days of stock. Okay, this is called 2 days of stock. Now, let's say when you place an order, the vendor takes 3 days to deliver.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the kind of work they're doing in the your shortage kind of thing. Okay, whether it's a drug shortage or you know, so shortage, you're trying to find out. Okay, where okay, no, it's again a futuristic thing. Okay, so I said example here, it uses 5 drugs per day, it can manufacture, it can package, but let's say there's sudden demand for 10 such drugs, right? Gone, right?
Okay.
you
Yeah.
you know, so again you have to go and get it reviewed, and again it's a lengthy process. Okay,
Yes.
so you don't want to get into that. So take one area, drug shortages. Try to learn more about it.
Okay.
Okay. So any questions? Will you spend some more time and get some more data?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Uh, What else we have? So try to narrow down, okay, your experience level, okay, or your work. Narrowing down will give you more clarity, and it's about understanding, okay, because you also want interviewer to ask questions for which you have the answer, you are ready to answer.
Yes.
Okay, then I have one more, wait, two more, right? Okay, so I'm just looking for Gimalasa. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Swapnil, this is Nirupa. I don't think Sunita sent my resume to you because
Okay.
I'm not yet into the marketing phase, but I just joined the session to know more
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
but the thing is, like, I got my resume like a month and a half back because my classes are not done yet. I don't
Okay.
want to get into marketing without knowing the subject actually.
True. Okay.
The resume which I got, like it's about it's saying like something about the current project which I'm working, like states that it's with the Wells Fargo Bank. You
Mhm.
know, I read it, I Googled it. I'm not getting a proper answer. What is that I am actually doing in that project,
See, Wells Fargo Bank is a full-fledged service bank, okay, like a
So it is
Citibank
saying
and
something about SOR legacy systems. I'm not understanding what. Will you take another resume session?
It's an ongoing thing, okay, so don't worry, okay.
Because from the
Swapnil,
beginning,
Yeah.
sorry to stop you. Nirupama. I think I have sent your resume. I mean, that's a little old resume which we prepared. As she said, the 1.5 to 2 months ago. I think I've shared that with you, Swapnil.
Yes, I can see it now. I have it.
okay. So Swapnil, the thing is, what I'm looking is, I know how the drilling and everything goes in the. Because I have no experience, but I've like 5 years back I attended for automation testing interviews and all. I know how the resume session, like the interview things will go. What I want mostly from my resume is like I want like the real time scenarios to talk about like what I actually do. uh, so this is where like I get stuck every time.
Correct.
So
So see, I'll tell you the way it works is I will give you ideas like this, just you see in the couple of sessions, right? Couple of topics. So I give you ideas. Now you have to go back and refine it. Okay. Refine
okay,
it, come up with your own this thing. And again, we can meet. Okay. It's not that, we'll have only one session.
okay,
Okay. So again, you go back, you meet. And once you say that I'm ready, then I will start interviewing you.
okay,
Okay. So then again, you will know where you're getting stuck. Okay.
okay. Okay,
So,
so I
okay.
think that this is my resume. So
Yes,
what
yes,
is
this is your
that
resume.
SOR legacy systems? Because I've Googled it, but then again, I'm being very frank here. I didn't Google it enough. I just to Googled it like 1 or 2 times. I didn't get what is that actually. So I thought, okay,
Where do you see SOR like okay. Multiple prime SOR like a system after long service life. Okay.
what does
So
that mean,
wait,
Swapnil? So,
wait. I have to move this one. I'm not sure. Yeah. So see, participate in enterprise wide. So see here, your role here is more of a Python data analyst. Okay. It talks
mm-hmm.
about Python data analyst. So it says that you are working on at least your resume has some introduction about the project. Other resumes doesn't have so much. It just starts with responsibilities, right? So
Mm-hmm.
see, um, okay, so let me read it. Okay, participated on an enterprise-wide group of senior management technology leaders business group management, others to identify, resolve business and system impacts as the org moves towards retirement of multiple prime SOR legacy system. Okay, after a long service life and multiple large mergers and integration. So first of all, it talks about business analysis process. Okay, this is more of a business analysis. You're analyzing the business along with the top leaders. Okay, so what if we remove these systems? What will happen? Okay, so it is more of trying to understand what impact it will have on the business. Okay, so you have those legacy systems. Legacy systems means obviously old systems, right? And they were supposed to perform some SOR activities. Okay, now what it does is, okay, so it's see, one thing is that it's old. Second thing is that large mergers and integration. That means you have a system and then later you have to merge another system to it. You realize that there are two systems which are similar in nature, so you need to merge it. Now you acquired a new company, they also have similar systems, so again you merge them together. So so because of which what happened is you you came up with a system which has lot of customization done over a period of time. So your task was to identify data stewardship, consumptions, and lookalike data within legacy system. So now you need to move that system to another system. You're moving the system to another system, correct? So when you move the system to another system, there will be some data which could be duplicated. Some data, we call them as um, uh,
Redundancy?
yeah, so you'll have some
Redundant. Yeah.
yes, there is some redundant data, okay, which you need to remove it. Okay, so there are four actions that generally we perform. One, remove the redundant data. Second is, since you are changing the system, right? So you may not be using the data in the same format in the new system. Okay, if it is same data, same format, that means then there's no need to uh,
The system.
yeah, there's no need to remove the system, right? So some data, in the new system, you won't be able to use the data in the same format. So you need to identify data which needs to be modified.
Okay.
Okay, there could be data which no longer needed. Okay, it was very specific. uh, let's say some kind of check boxes and things like that which are very specific to the legacy system, no longer required in the new system, so you're going to delete also something. And since it's a new system, okay, when you're deleting, you need to have something new also, right? So you end up creating something new. So you have all four types of operations possible. Okay, deleting, removing the old data. Okay, updating the old data, adding new data, right? So
Okay.
three operations, right? We say
Yeah.
create, update, delete, okay, modify, right? So your job was to work with the team, identify the data which was in the old system and the data in the new system, and you're doing a mapping. So
Okay.
when you do mapping from old data to another new data, you might feel the need of creating new data. There will definitely be some data which will not be used in the new system, which you'll delete it. There will be data which will be new in the new system, but not in your system. So you need to add those new data to the system. So that's what generally your analysis would mean here, based on the first paragraph what we just saw.
Okay.
Okay, and this systems looks like are more of home mortgages,
Home mortgages.
right? That's what
Oh,
it says there. WFHM, Wells Fargo Home Mortgage Business Unit. So it's a home mortgage business unit, very similar to what we discussed in the first project, right? Whether it's a
loan.
car or yeah, loan system.
Okay, so sorry for the lame question here. So when you say like merging two systems, what do you mean? Like what systems could that be?
No,
Like
no, one is legacy system, right? And
one
when
is
you're
legacy.
yeah,
Okay.
and when you are removing it, you'll have a new system again. right?
Okay,
So
so you mean you're replacing the old legacy system
yes,
means when I read it online, it is saying something like a old software which is not adapted to the new technology and everything.
correct,
So you're replacing the legacy systems with the new,
new system,
like a new
right?
software, you
New
say.
software, exactly.
Okay.
But your data is in the legacy system, right?
Okay,
You need
now I
to,
get it.
yeah, you need to move the data to new system now,
Okay.
right? So
Oh,
you cannot just copy paste the data, right? Again, the
yes.
table will be different, columns names should be different, right? So that's what you have to do, mapping. And when
Okay.
you do mapping, you'll realize that, okay,
Mm.
some data you have to add manually, maybe some data, has found equal change. So even equal, they can be easily moved from legacy, right?
Mm.
But some data could not be moved. You have to make some edit changes before new system accepts,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So that's what is about the first paragraph. Okay, and then to perform that, you need to again connect to SQL databases, Excel, flight files, because data could be in different format.
Yeah,
Okay,
data. Yeah, okay. Databases. Okay. Okay, the data can be come in the form of different forms like the Excels or CSV files or SQL database, the data
right,
source system, which you're saying.
right,
Okay. Okay.
right.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
again, as I said, number one rule is who am I? Just remember who am I? All the doubts will get cleared.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
I am someone who is moving old system to a new system, data from old system to the new system. So then
Okay.
what challenges do you get, right? So even if you Google, say, what challenges do you get moving, what analysis do you perform, it'll tell you what analysis you perform. Okay. And then build your story there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So Kruger is again my favorite. So Kruger, CVS, similar.
Kroger.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's also a pharma company, right?
Kroger is. Okay. Okay. I never been to Kroger, but I thought of it as a departmental store actually.
Uh, it is a departmental store, but more focused on medicines and
Pharmacy. Oh, okay.
pharmacy. Okay. So it's like CVS retail. CVS also has retail, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, it has groceries also, but you can also fill prescription.
Yeah. So most of the activities are with the pharmacy.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Then I will dig deeper, Swapnil.
Yes. Yes.
Because I never sat on the resume still now. I'm just focusing on something else. Like I'm
Right.
just
Right.
doing
Right.
like the reading
Training
stuff.
right now. Yeah.
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 I will just go through this. I will come up with the real-time scenarios and again I will get back to you.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm looking at
Thank you.
no problem. Gimalata.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3M. So what is 3M company?
3M is mostly into the retail aspect where you have the adhesive,
No,
no?
3M is not retail.
It's more of appliances and adhesives and
They
other
make
parts.
adhesives, they make glasses, okay, they make security systems, they're manufacturers.
Okay.
So they operate in the fields of industry, worker safety, US healthcare, consumer goods, right? They make 60,000 products under several brands, adhesives, abrasives, laminates, passive fire protection, personal protective equipment, films, paint protection films, okay? All this, so they are manufacturers
Okay.
and they're used across various businesses,
All right.
okay? So yes, so what do you do here?
I was looking at from product specific, in the sense what are the best selling products
Right. Okay. So
that's the
more from
analysis
sales,
was.
more from sales perspective.
Yes, yes. Which are the top 10 products, and who are those target customers? So I was trying to deep dive into that aspect of
You see the last line, created KPI, right?
the
So
performance indicators.
key performance indicators. So what are the KPIs that you performed? Okay. So for them, it
Okay.
is important like fill rate,
So
order accuracy. Okay. Um, Order accuracy, fill rate, inventory management. Okay. Customer service ratio. So, okay. So again, depends upon which part of business you are doing about, but definitely when you talk about manufacturing and also sales, it's about this.
okay.
Okay, so order accuracy is if a customer orders something from you. Okay, they're also into B2, mostly into B2B. They do sell B2C. You can find their products on in Walmart and other places, but mostly they're also B2B. So let's say if company orders, okay,
So
that
business
I
to
want
business.
business to business. So if company orders a certain product, okay,
Right,
of let's say adhesives, of adhesive will be various category, right?
right.
Adhesive that you use to uh, stick glass pieces together is different than what you use to stick two papers, right? Glue is different than adhesive. So
Yes.
they'll have different categories, right? So let's say I ordered 9 category or 9 number. I'm just saying number, okay? I don't know if they call it number or not, but let's say I ordered 9 number. Did I get
Right.
9 or did I get 10? Right? I ordered
Right.
9, but I got 10. But I ordered on 10th, I got on 10th. So order delivery rate is 100%. I ordered on 10th, I got on 10th. Delivery order
Right.
percentage is 100%, but accuracy is poor. Okay. So if I ordered 10, I got only one correct, 90 wrong. That
Yes.
means, your uh, accuracy is, 10% only, right?
So you
So
said if you ordered 10 and you received only 9, so you're saying the
no, no, no.
accuracy.
I uh, I ordered 10 and I got only one which is correct label.
Okay.
Okay, exact
Okay.
what I want.
Okay.
Rest 9 were incorrect product.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
you got all 10, right? So
Yeah.
your order delivery is 100%.
Okay. Okay.
But when you open, you find that 9 things are wrong. So error is 90%. Or accuracy is 10%.
Right. Right. So I can then look at, talking about just only on order accuracy, or do I then also have to
No, no,
talk
no, no,
about?
no. See, you have worked for almost 2 years, right? 2.5 years, 3 years will be completing, correct?
Right.
So
Right.
I'm just giving you one or two metric. There are many
Okay.
such metric, okay,
So a
on that
data
side.
analyst should be working on more than one or two metrics, or it can be confined to only one or two metrics.
Confined to retail sales, right? You said. So what are the
Yeah.
metric which sales team will look at? Sales team will not look at only one metric, right?
Okay.
Okay, one metric will not give you good picture, right? For example, order accuracy, okay, and order delivery, right? Both is telling you a different story, right? One is
Okay.
great, one is not so great, right?
Okay.
So so you look at, from Google, if you type um, um, sales metric for manufacturer.
Okay.
Okay, so you will get a whole lot of things. So don't I mean, you don't have to remember, like, say, if you get 20 or 30, you don't have to worry about all 20, 30. Just read through them and find out 10, 15 easiest one that you feel, you can remember and you can talk about.
You said
Okay.
10 to 15?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So again, let's say when you see 20, go with 10. Okay. Something that you can remember. See, as many as you do, it's good, right?
Okay.
But don't focus on number, focus on quality first. The quality in the sense something that you can easily explain how to calculate, okay, and what is the impact, okay, on the business. Okay. So, okay, I have something which I can show you right away. But I'm not supposed to. Smita, if you don't mind, can you pause recording?
Yes, I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can pause recording.
Okay.
Okay. So what I was saying is that even if you remember 2 or 3 KPIs, remember it well so that you can answer. Now, so I was talking about the graphs, right? Now we're talking about scatter plot, right? You need to know what scatter plot is. So if they ask you, okay, what did you plot on scatter plot? So scatter plot always talks about the relationship between two parameters, or two metric,
Two
right?
measures, right?
So yes, so you cannot say that I measured inventory turn on scatter plot. So you have to say I measured inventory turn versus order accuracy on scatter plot, right? So that will show that you really understand what you're talking about, right? So yeah, just
So,
so
Swapnil, I'm sorry, you said inventory turn versus the accuracy,
forget
right?
about
That's
what term I used. Okay.
okay.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it means that you have to use two term. Okay,
Okay.
right? Because scatter plot would mean two term.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to familiarize couple of metrics that you spoke about
Yes.
so that,
So
I
inventory
have
turn, I
certain
said
things in
inventory
mind.
turn. Yeah, I said inventory turn and order accuracy. Order accuracy we have already seen. Inventory
Yeah.
turn is how fast you turn the inventory, how fast you uh, rotate your inventory.
Okay.
Yeah, one question in
Meaning,
Nil, regarding the legal case matters, like how we analyze the data in such cases, like KPIs related to legal case matters.
Mm-hmm.
So any company will have the legal entity, right?
Okay. So, okay. So see, just give an example where you want to measure you analyze the legal case. You might analyze um, the areas where companies are already facing some legal problems, right? So,
Yes.
uh,
So
yeah.
it is mentioned in my resume. So
Mhm.
I thought of
Okay, yeah, just tell me what was it mentioned? What's the full sentence?
so critical KPIs such as legal case matters, billing hours, and case proceedings, along with slicers and
Correct.
dicers.
Correct. Case proceedings. That means already there are some cases on the company, right? So you want to slice and dice in terms of what is what is the repercussion, right? Like if you lose, how much, what damage it will have, right? Whether it's related to product, whether it's related to service, okay? So types of this thing. So that's what it says. Okay, you want to understand how serious are those cases. Sometimes you might know that you might lose, right? So
Yes.
so how many such cases are there where we might lose, where we are strong, where we did the case of people actually put case on us, so things like that. So again, it's not it's not legal as in legal, it is still a data, right? Just that
Yes.
the need the the data is not has legal term associated instead of so okay, so it's not legal in the sense that you need to know the legal stuff, but you're talking in terms of how many cases are filed per day, especially when you get into pharmaceutical manufacturing. Okay, there will definitely be some even in IT. Okay, there's a lot of
Okay.
case. Every company files on every company. Apple files on Microsoft. Microsoft files on Google. Google files on Microsoft. There are many such companies because everybody thinks that their product is unique and others are copying. Okay, so there are
And
many
when it
such.
comes to
Yeah.
food industry also, the same thing applies.
For where? Where?
Food industry. James Makar is a
Okay.
food industry group, right?
Okay. So maybe, yeah. So they might have, uh, infringed, what do you call their patent, right? So somebody would have come up with new patent, and they would have, like packets. You see, Tetra packets, and these are all patented, right? So if
Yes.
you have to use it, you have to pay money to the parent company. But some company might make slight little change, and they will use it their own, but the main company will still put a case on them saying, no, this you copied our idea. So things like that will happen. Yes, packaging, it will
Okay.
happen. Food processing, it will happen.
Okay.
Somebody will put some vitamin and they say, ours is a uh, our cigarette has vitamin in it, right? So things like that will happen. Then somebody will put case on it because in food processing is not good, right, for health. So what they try to do, they try to show it as a healthy food. There
Yes.
could be
So
some, yeah,
most of the preservatives, maybe that
preserve,
might be.
yeah. So this or that. So for you, it is more about tracking how many cases are there, what categories of cases are there, how many cases are filed per month. Okay, is there any increase trend? What is the trend? Okay, so if it is per month, you look at last 1 year and you look at last 12 months trend. Okay, it increases in March to April and May, then it falls down. Why the trend is so such like that, right? Trend will not be same. Either it will be increasing or decreasing or right.
Yes.
So when is it increasing? When it is decreasing? Why it has increased? Why it has decreased? Okay, is our legal team doing good job or not? Right. Okay,
Okay.
should be able to handle cases. Are they able to handle the cases or not? Are they getting dragged? You can look at the closure time. Okay, what is the average closure time of such cases internationally or at the company in level? So let's say generally food industry legal cases are they closes within 100 to 150 days, but most of your cases are still open after 200 days. That means your team is not doing great work, So
And what is the impact on the business also? We
impact on
can,
business, yes. So if it is increases, what happens to the revenue? Is it decreasing? What happens to profit? Right?
yes.
So
Yeah.
yes. No. Is it okay to pay money and so that's the main question, right? Should we fight the case or should we pay money and close the case? Right? So if it is not having an adverse impact, okay, you would want to fight the case. You would have adverse impact, and if you're you might end up losing more money than what you want to what they expect from you. Okay, in that way you will
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
right
Swapnil,
that
thank you.
yeah, so you will pay
Swapnil,
money.
the next client that I had worked was with Wells Fargo. So
Uh-huh.
here in the description, it says that I was identifying data based on the asset-based lending loans. Could you tell me something more about what could be the metrics that I can work on
Okay,
asset-based
so
lending?
you tell me what is asset-based lending?
I'm assuming that you kind of mortgage something, and based on that, the bank gives you some amount of money. Is that what it means? Asset-based lending loans.
So asset-based lending means like home loan is a asset-based lending. Okay, you are a personal loan is not. Okay, unsecured. Okay, so let's say you take a personal loan and then you stop paying, right? Instead of your credit history becoming bad, there's nothing else bank can do, right?
Okay.
But if you take a car loan or house loan and if you default, they'll take your house or car, right? So that's called asset-based lending.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, so any mortgage that you see, the term mortgage, so those are all your asset-based lending only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now it could be B2B or B2C, business to consumer, business to business. Okay.
Okay. So it can work on for both, for B2B and for B2C.
Yes, yes, yes.
So here the analysis that we can do on house loan or on car loans is that how many times the customer has faulted in making this monthly payment. Is that what analysis can I look at when I'm looking at?
Right. And what is the generally uh, s- people who, what percentage people default? What is the nature of people who default? And when they
Okay.
default, what time do they default? Do they default within 1 year of taking loan, or within 2 years, or within 3 years, right? Or
Okay.
within 3 months? So who are the
Okay.
people who generally default within 3 months,
Okay.
right? So yeah, that kind of information you can look at.
So I was asked one question during the interview as to give us a story, how you have processed as a data analysis. So, when you have to talk about a story, you start from right from the extraction of the data till you until you publish the data to the end user. You have to say everything. Is that what the story should be all
Okay.
about?
See, technically, yes. Okay. But you may not be doing everything, right? See,
Okay.
as a training, we learn everything because we don't know what kind of role we might end up getting into. Okay. It's possible that you might get a job of data cleaning, right? So in training, that's why we learn everything. We learn so many things because you never know what job you might get. But when you get a job, right, it will still be, if you have worked only for 2 years and you claim that, you have done 10 different things, it'll cast doubt, right?
Okay.
So one, but you need to understand the entire process.
Okay.
Okay. You are supposed to understand the process. You may not have done it. So you can say that, no, my company works this way. This is how they do it. But my role is limited to here. We just, take the data, look at this key important metric, we plot, and then we give our understanding on those metric, which is going up, down, what impact it is having on business. That is my job. But I get data
Okay.
from so and team, and the input that I the input to my analysis comes from so and so team, and the
Okay.
analysis that you perform goes to so and so team, and they do blah blah blah. So you know what they do. So your story is complete from data engineering to the presentation. Okay,
Okay.
but you say that for this project my role was only this much.
Okay.
Especially if you're putting these big companies, right? 3M or uh, uh, Wells Fargo and all,
Mm.
they'll have a lot of people. You won't be doing all kinds of work. But if it's a small company, yes, you might be doing multiple things there. That's fine. They'll accept it.
Okay. Swapnil, I have one last question. Please don't mind me, but I was trying to search this answer in Google. Uh, what is the process for dynamic data? I know what is static data. Static data is basically what you have on-premise data, right? What is there on the server. What is this dynamic data and how do we process it?
No, so I didn't get what is dynamic data you said. Sorry, static data you said.
Static data is what is available on premise, right? What your with the data engineering team that gives you the set of data. That's what static data is all about, right?
Okay, so see, I have a different opinion on that. Okay, so there's you have data, of course, right? and there's some component called as time component to it. Okay.
Okay.
So if I want to know the sale of my product on 10th of November, now
Okay.
10th of November data will not change, right?
Okay.
But if I say yesterday's data, so yesterday's data for today is different than tomorrow's yesterday, right?
Right.
Right. And then if you want to know what is the business done by my sales team. So of course, tomorrow's data will be more than today's numbers. So the information which is periodically updated. So periodically means it could be updated daily basis, hourly basis, quarterly basis, monthly basis. They are called dynamic data. Okay. Data is not changing or which is persistent. Okay. Persistent means constant.
Okay.
Okay. So constant means so sales on 6th, 7th of December 2022. The sales on December 7th, 2022 will remain constant,
Okay.
right? So it's like this when you are doing when you are playing cricket match. So the the match which is going on is your dynamic thing. Okay, because
Okay.
batsman is playing on 12th, 12, and they can, batsman he can take 2 more runs, becomes 14. So it's in progress. Okay, once match is done, closed, then that's like a static data.
Okay. Okay.
So most of this transactional data are dynamic data, right? You log into Amazon, you probably log in 2 times in a day, but probably you buy once in a week, right? So it's a dynamic data. You logging in is a dynamic data.
Okay. All right. So is that when you have to keep refreshing your data? Like when in Power BI, I've heard that you got to refresh your data.
Yes,
Every 30, in 1 hour, it gets refreshed twice. I think that's when the dynamic data is, that's what we're talking about, right?
correct. Because it's dynamic data. Okay, so if you want your Power BI to be having the latest information, okay, then yes, right? Sales data is dynamic data, in fact,
Okay.
right? Any store you take, any store selling any item, it's a dynamic data, right? It
Okay.
gets changed. But as I said, that's something like number of months, your date of operation, let's say your few things will not change. So those are called static data.
Okay. So mostly if it is a manufacturing or a banking, it's usually always dynamic data, right? Because I don't see where the concept of static data would be. I mean, you told me the match. If the match is over, then that becomes a static data. But now when we're talking about a current client like 3M or Wells Fargo, usually it would be all dynamic data.
Number of products, name of the product, right? Department, head, these are all static. See, static doesn't mean it will remain static forever. Okay, department head, they'll change probably once in 4 months, 3 years, 5 years. Okay, change.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sure, we'll end it here. And I want you to practice. So next time I'll be asking questions. Okay, and be confident to answer that.
Thanks, Swapnil. Thank you for
Sure.
answering all the
Sure,
questions.
yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you
Swapnil.
so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Swapnil.
I
Thank
have a
you.
doubt. I have a
Yes,
question,
yes,
Swapnil.
yes, yes.
So I just I went and I'm Googling like the KPIs for the Wells Fargo. How exactly should I, if they
Asset
are
banking, if you talk about asset banking,
in a home mortgage, yeah.
home mortgage, check for home mortgage, and you don't have to add Wells Fargo. Okay, home mortgage is common, right? Everybody does it. So look
Okay.
at the metrics that people look at home mortgage.
Okay. So can I just do KPIs for the home mortgage and see
Correct,
what?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Or instead of KPIs, okay, just say, characteristics of home market, So, so if you do not get any information related to KPIs, then
Okay.
you have to keep changing the different term, right? So maybe
Term.
features or
Okay.
maybe characteristics, something like that. If you keep searching, yes, you will get it.
Okay.
How to perform analytics on home mortgage. So
Okay.
you'll get a lot of documents.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure, sure.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Swapnil. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Take
You
You
care.
too.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye.
Swapnil. Thanks for your
Bye.
time.
Thank you, Swapnil.
Sure, sure.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
I just sent one dataset, Swapnil. If possible, like please
Good
go
read
through it.
author?
Later also, it's okay, no problem for
No, you talk
me.
about
If you,
Goodreads authors.
yes, regarding the authors and publishers, composers.
So
So,
Goodread is what Goodread is?
Goodread,
mm,
it's an app like where you can read the books and everything online.
The reviews. Okay, Goodreads is the reviews. Okay,
Goodreads.
so
Okay.
you can find reviews of all the books. So it's like, anybody can go and review a book. You read a book, you like
Mm.
it or you don't like it, you go there, you search for the book. If book is there, you add your review. If book is not there, create a new account, upload the book name and picture and all the details, and you can give the review. It is owned by Amazon only. Okay, it is
okay,
Amazon
in
website.
that case, this is not the dataset. So I'll find another one.
Yeah, and don't worry. Okay, I'm saying don't worry about the data set. Okay, look at the characteristic. Just talk, whatever you told me, right? That 3-letter, 6-letter acronym. Type that
Yes.
and read about the business, what that business do,
Mm.
and then you can try to create your own data set in your mind.
Yeah, that
Okay.
also we can do. But the thing is, like, we're getting very less information on that. So,
Yes.
yeah,
So
I'll Google it in case
yes,
if I get any data set, any
sure.
doubts, yeah, I'll share it with you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a
No
good day.
problem. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.